Hello, friends. Right now, I'd like to talk about some of the friends that you're going to find if you're gardening in your yard during the spring and summer. And before I start, I'd like to talk about an old book. It was written in 1987. A little bit hard to find these days, but the book was called Worm Day, and the author of that book was Seifert. And it was about a really fun science teacher. One day, he came into the classroom and he was carrying a little picnic cooler. And he put the picnic cooler on his desk and he said to the class, I have a riddle for you here. Inside this one picnic cooler, I have 200 live animals. And the students were they were just completely perplexed. They couldn't imagine what on earth kind of animal would fit into that cooler and be completely quiet. And they listened and they looked. And finally he said, can you guess? Class said, no, you have 200 what in there? And when he opened the picnic cooler, inside the cooler was lots of soil, earth, and 200 little pink wiggly earthworms. And so we're going to talk a little bit about earthworms. Their scientific name is Lumbricus terrestris, and you will see that they share that word terrestris with us. That means of the earth or in the earth. And when we talk about space, we say that you and I and dogs and cats are terrestrial. That means we live on the earth. So starting with that little story from Worm Day, I want you to think about the many creatures, living, beautiful creatures that you walk past every day in your yard. And a lot of people refer to these little tiny creatures that live outside. They refer to them as bugs. But as we're going to find out, there are lots more names for them than just bugs. I think a bug, I can safely say, is anything that's tiny and creepy and crawly, and it lives in your garden, and you could probably hold it right in your hand, okay? So probably the first bug that you ever learn about when you are a tiny little kid is the Wincy spider. So here is the Wincy spider. She has 8 legs, which means that she is an arachnid. An arachnid. She's not an insect. You can say that a spider is a bug, but you cannot say that a spider is an insect because she has 8 legs. And I know when I was first hearing this song as a child, it said the Wincy spider climbed up the water spout. And I did not know what that was. I really didn't get it. And so for anybody who feels that way, the water spout is on your house, and it's the part of your gutter that brings the water from the roof when it rains. It comes down the side of your house, comes out a little hole. So you can, and sometimes there's a great little puddle at the bottom where you could maybe plant a rain garden. But our friend the spider is trying to go up inside of this pipe. And of course, when it's raining, she gets washed to the bottom. So let's sing for a minute about one of our first nature friends, the Wincy. And it goes, you all know, it goes, the Wincy spider went up the water spout, but down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the Wincy spider went up the spout again. And usually in story time, we give her a clap for trying again. She did not give up the first time. She didn't make it the first time. The second time, she did. So, if you are talking to some toddlers, they may know a different song about a spider. And this is how some people feel when they see little critters out in the garden. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Down came a spider and sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away. Ah! Now, the thing that was a little confusing about that was curds and whey. And curds and whey is kind of almost, you could imagine that she's eating something very much like cottage cheese. So she's minding her own business, and a big spider comes down. She might not know that spiders are good friends, and the spiders make beautiful silk spider webs, and they catch bad insects in your garden that might try to eat little bites out of your fruit and vegetables. So somebody needs to talk to Miss Muffet a little bit about her friend. Now, there's another very, very old song that comes from the days when we didn't have air conditioning, and out on the farms, most people didn't even have screen windows. So when you opened up your window to let the fresh air in, who came in but the flies? And if you're ever at the dollar store, ask your grown-up to show you a fly swatter. Most houses out in the country had lots of fly swatters, and you may even find some fly swatters if you go to a shore house. So, of course, we had a song and a little dance that went, "Shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. 'Cause I belong to somebody. I feel like a morning star. I feel like a morning star. So shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. 'Cause I belong to somebody." Now, there's another very, 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 very old song. The first recording was made in 1923 by somebody named Wendell Hall. And even in 1923, he said, "This is a very old country song." And it was made famous many, many, many years later because it was recorded by Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead. But it's a great old song. It's kind of a fiddle song, and it goes, "Well, there ain't no bugs on me. There ain't no bugs on me. There might be bugs on some of you mugs, but there ain't no bugs on me. There ain't no bugs on me. There ain't no bugs on me. There might be flies on some of you guys, but there ain't no bugs on me. Well, the June bug comes in the month of June. The lightning bug comes in May. The bed bug comes most any old time, but we never will let him stay. So there ain't no bugs on me. There ain't no bugs on me. There might be flies on some of you guys, but there ain't no bugs on me." So some very, very, very old songs about our friends in the garden. Now, the spider, we said, is not an insect because she has 8 legs. She is an arachnid, but the fly, the ant, and the bumblebee are all insects. And you can tell a spider from an insect because the spiders have 8 legs. Notice when you do the Incy Wincy, you make 8 legs. And anything that is in the family of insects only has 6 legs. So one of the insects that is such a good friend to us and we worry about now is the bee, the bumblebee. And I'd like to leave you with this. please try to teach this song to a toddler if you know a toddler. It's going to remind them that we need to be extra good to the bees. And it goes, here is the beehive, but where are all the bees? They're sleeping inside where nobody sees. In spring, they come creeping out of the hive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they say bzzz. Now, if you'd like to find out more about insects and arachnids and bugs, you can go on the computer and look up nationalgeographic.com. You will find some absolutely fabulous up-close photographs of critters from your garden. Thank you.